Hi guys, welcome to today's workout recap. And as you can see by the title, we're going to use kettlebells today. A little bit of a strength bias still, but we're going to do a buy-in and a buy-out of the workout using the assault bike. So 1600 meters or 1 mile at a nice steady pace, say around the 57 to 62 RPM, nice and steady. That's your buy-in. That should take you about 2.5 to 3 minutes or thereabouts. And that again is just, it's a whole body. We're pushing and pulling, so we're getting our shoulders ready for the first movement. And we're also going to use getting our legs warmed up on that there. And that's a good thing for us to do in case we haven't spent time, say, on the foam roller or the massage gun or stretching, etc., etc. So I like the bike for that. 1600 meters or 1 mile is your warm-up. Then we're going to come into sets of 12 today. Just going to do 3 sets each. I want you to go relatively heavy. I've got a pair of 20s, the purple people eaters that I call them, and I'm using them for my entire workout. So number 1, again, we're doing 3 sets. We're going to get between 12 and 15 reps or thereabouts in each of the movements. And if you need to, you might want to break that rep scheme up a little bit if you fatigue, obviously, and which is more likely to happen on this first one. The first one, we're going to come into a seated position. We're going to bring the kettlebells into the rack position, and we're going to do a double arm overhead press with the kettlebell. So again, if I bring them both over, again, watch any smart devices so that you don't smash them. Bring them up into the rack. Again, you need to engage your trunk or your core. 1, 2, and you're probably going to find that you're probably stronger on one side than I am the other. In this case, my stronger on my right, my left tends to waver a bit. Again, I'm going to go for a set of 12. I'm going to place them down. I'm going to give myself anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds recovery, because this is going to take it out of us. We're going to do that 2 more times for 3 sets. Second movement, same thing. This time we're going to come into a standing position in the rack position, i.e. both here, and we're going to do step back or reverse lunges. In this case, we're going to just do sets of 12. So 6 on the right leg, 6 on the left leg. So again, get them into the rack. If you have to, hold and clasp them and simply step them all the way back, knee to the floor. 1, 2, and so on until you get your set 12. Again, place them down at the end. Careful how you're placing them down. Sit down if you need to, stand up, go for a walk. This will spike your heart rate, not during, but once you place them down. Come back, and we've got 2 more sets to do at 12 or 6 each leg. If you want to vary it up, maybe the second set, step back 6 on the right, wait, step back 6 on the left, and then go back to alternating legs or as you see fit in that third and final set. Next one is work on our trunk stability. If you do not have a strong trunk, and it's not just your core, because your lower lumbar all the way up, mid back, upper back needs to be strong. I've been working on, I'm quite thick through my trunk. It's not a fat thing, I'm just built this way. I'm a barrel, but I'm using it to my advantage, and that helps with my heavy ruck. This one I'm going to do what we call a suitcase crunch. Pretty much it's just like an oblique crunch, but we're in a standing position. I'm going to take the weights into one hand. I'm going to put the other hand out, pull my shoulder back, and I'm going to, just like tick-tock on the clock, I'm kind of going to come down. Now I'm not pulling the whole way over, I'm just letting it come down, and I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to do it with the one weight to start with. For those of you that are strong enough, you can do the same thing, but again, in this case, I'm going to go with 2 kettlebells. So I'm going to bring both of them over. I'm literally going to slide one hand through and have it sitting here at the crux of my hand and my wrist, and I'm going to grip the second one. So I'm coming through. In this case, this is what it will look like. Again, as you can see, I'm already partly this way, so therefore I'm spread out. One, I'm just pulling to the top. I'm not pulling that way. What I'm simply trying to do is I'm trying to get stronger at that lower phase. So this guy's in crunch, this guy's in extension, and I'm trying to then pull back through. And again, I'm trying not to dip forward. I'm trying to keep to the side. So again, please be careful with this one. Pick a nice weight that you can manage. Perhaps it's a lighter weight to start with. Slowly build, and then when you're ready, you'll go for something heavier. And obviously 32s are the heaviest I have. In this case, I want to go a little bit heavier, so I've kept this pair of 20s and I've doubled up for that there. So that's that one. And the final one is simply a skull crusher using our kettlebell. Best thing to do is to show you getting down, and we're doing a skull crusher movement. So I'm coming down on the kettlebell, coming on the side. In this case, as you can see, the kettlebell, I'm grabbing it by the horn and I'm pulling it up, and therefore I'm now having to control it in that position, and then I'm bringing it back. Touch, I'm just coming close to my skull. I'm not coming right onto my forehead, I'm coming a slightly little bit past, so that way then if I do lose it, it goes that way. And again, with the skull crushers, in this case with the skull crusher, I'm going to go for a set of 15. 20 is fairly light for me, but I'm going for sets of 15. Again, trying to always get that full extension. One round nice and slow, 15 feels like a long time. Another round, just trying to pump, but again, trying to pump the full rep. And again, it's different stimulus, and I feel that more in through my wrists than I do when I go slower on my tricep extensions in squeezing out at the top. Final thing then is back onto the bike, and this time our buyout again is 1 mile or 1600 meters, and this time we're just going to up the pace. So I started, let's say 60 RPM for the buy-in. In this case, I want to be into my mid 70s, 77, close to 80, to try to get that 1600 done as quickly as possible. What I did is I chose to do my first 800 very fast, so like sitting just on the 80, 83, and I got my first 800 really fast. I found that blew me out here a little tiny bit, so then I slowed it back down to high 60s to low 70s, so 67, 68 to 70, 72, and finished that off. And we've gone from say 2.5 to 3 minutes down to under 2 minutes as that final little burst to bring the workout home. That's it. Now, if we're doing this at home, you can change the bike for shuttle runs, or for skipping, or shadow boxing, or something similar. Something that's going to get your whole body moving. So again, if I'm doing my shadow boxing, I want to move around, maybe I want to throw in some kicks, pretending that I'm doing a bit of Muay Thai, and get myself moving that way. As far as the seated press, I can do a seated press with my ruck or my sandbag. Okay? I can put it in the front rack, and I can do my reverse lunges. If I've got my ruck, I can bear hug it, or I can put it on my back and do my reverse lunges, or even do walking lunges, should that be the case. Okay, as far as the oblique, again, I can hold my ruck or something to the side. It will be lighter, unless it's like mine, it's heavy ruck. My ruck is 35 kilos. Then you can still add weight to that, should you see fit. And then finally, your skull crushers. Again, your sandbag or your ruck you can do. Just need to make sure that you turn the ruck from being upright in a portrait to a horizontal, and make sure that the weight is evenly distributed, so that way when you are doing it, it's not just one arm taking the whole bottom of the bag where all the weight is, but again, just modify it, hold it accordingly. And again, you'll buy out, same thing too. Maybe at shuttle runs, how many can you get for 2 minutes in the buy-in, and on the way back out, let's say you get 20, then you want to aim for 24, want to aim for 26, which means you just got to put a little bit more pep in your step in the pace. That's the workout today. All kettlebell, bit of buy-in and buy-out on the bike, bit of strength bias. That's it. Please like, please subscribe, please tell a friend. You want to know more about what we do, this is part of the program that I've had that many names for it, but basically look, I'm here, I like Jim Jones, I like Go Ruck, I like what they do, the mind is primary, I get all that concept, and it's about working a bit harder because I simply want to make myself and my clients more athletic, more stronger, should that be a word, and then also a bit more anti-fragile, with the ability to deal with the heavy shit, the day-to-day that comes and goes with just being a parent. That's it. Cheers.